I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, where we carry the largest selection of wood flowers in the United States. Welcome back to another tutorial. If you have found this video, there's a few different reasons why that may be. Number one, you have just purchased the centerpiece kit and are ready to start making your centerpieces. Number two, you are a subscriber to the channel, saw a new tutorial was up and came to check it out. Thank you so much. We love you. And number three, you're just looking for centerpiece ideas. All three of those reasons are great reasons. And today, if you haven't guessed it, I'm sure you have, it's all about the centerpiece. In particular, this lovely little box centerpiece that is now a full, complete kit. So everything that you need to make this centerpiece is in that kit. So let's stop chatting about it and let's just jump into it. Welcome back to another tutorial, and yes, it is all about the centerpiece. So I had a very long-winded intro, so I'm not even gonna keep on going with that long-winded intro. We're just gonna jump right into it. So let's break on down all of the supplies that come in your kit and let's make this centerpiece. When you get your kit, this is all that will be in that kit. We have some greenery, we have floral foam, we have your box, we have 8 American Beauties in varying sizes, and your wires. One thing to note is there is 2 different colors. So this is the stained box, and then we also have a raw box. Let me grab that for you guys. And here is the raw box. This one, we did not have the nail holes sealed so that if you wanted to stain it, it wouldn't do anything funky on that. So there's that, but you can also paint this, leave it as is, seal it up. Lots of different options for this particular box. And then this one is already pre-stained, that beautiful dark rich, almost is looking black right now when I'm looking at it on the camera, but it's not. It's a really deep, rich brown. Now before we get started, I do want to show a quick tutorial on how to dye the solo wood flowers if you choose to dye them and not keep them in the raw form that they're going to come in. So we're gonna do that real quick. It's a super simple, easy technique. And then we're gonna come on back. I'm gonna use the raw flowers, however, for this project. So none of my flowers are gonna be dyed, but it is super, super easy to color the flowers, whatever colors that you want for your event. To dye the flowers, what you're going to need is some room temp water. Optional is a little bit of vegetable glycerin, and then your favorite craft or latex paint. This color we're gonna use today is Crimson Red by Anita's. I'm gonna slowly add in my water. It's usually about a 1-to-1 ratio of water to paint. And to keep the flowers soft, you can add just a little bit of glycerin. You do not need a lot. A little bit goes a long way. And I do just about one part glycerin to 8 parts water. I'm gonna start mixing this up, but we'll add more water to this in just a second. Going around. This has like a raised edge in it, so I want to make sure I've got most of the clumps all done. One other thing you'll want is something to dry all your flowers on. I like to use egg cartons, but it's completely a personal preference. All right, moment of truth. So we're just gonna put our flower in there, bring it around, and scoop up some of the paint for some of those flowers that are a little bit deeper. And you can shape it while it's wet. When the wood is wet, it starts to become much more flexible and manualable? No, that's not the word. You know what I'm saying. But it does that. So I am noticing I do have some thicker paint spots, so I can add a little bit more water. So I'm gonna do that. But on those spots where it's kind of thick right now, I'm just gonna smooth it out with my finger. It's okay to get a little messy. There's one down. Let's do the others real quick. We'll add a little bit more water to this. And we'll mix up a little bit more. Now throughout your dyeing, you do want to just mix up your water and paint every once in a while because the paint can start to settle so that you don't have any clumping or like spots and splotches and things like that. I'm tilting this so that I can get my paint kind of in the flower quite a bit, and then I'm going to open up the petals again. Now if you have some spots where you can kind of see that there's still needs to be some saturation, you can also get like a spoon and scoop in some paint under there. But then what I do is I shake off all the excess and set it to dry. These do take about 24 hours to dry, to air dry, and then you're good to go to start making your arrangement. Now this particular flower is only found in the bridal bouquet kit. And it's a different shape rose. Now this does uncurl slightly, but it still holds its shape pretty well. And then when you open her up, my gosh, how pretty is that? So I'm gonna shake off that excess, let those dry. I'm going to get my glue gun on so that we can stem the flowers, but while we're waiting for handy dandy Vikram, my glue gun, to warm up, why don't we get Greenery started? So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna work with our Greenery. You're gonna get these small little sprigs, and what I'm going to do so that we can stretch out our Greenery is I'm gonna take all of these pieces, or most of them I should say, and we're gonna take them right off the stem. And of course they've already been slit up, so I gotta slide them back down to get them to come off. So I'm always gonna keep one on the original stem, and the rest we're gonna stem up separate. And the ones that are left on the original stems, we're gonna slide those down a little bit, and we're just gonna fold this over, and we're gonna pinch it, just so that it doesn't go anywhere. It's not sliding off or anything, so. Pinch that a little bit. And these are thicker than our normal wires, so they might give a little bit more resistance. Now with these, we're going to take some of the wire stems that we have. We're gonna slide it through and do the same thing. We're just gonna fold that over and then pinch it. These might be a little wobbly, but that's all right. Once they're in place, it'll be just fine. But we do wanna, again, pinch that just a little bit so that there's a little less wobble, if you will. These, the same thing. It doesn't go all the way over like it does. Like there's multiple parts coming off of the main piece, but we're still gonna do the same thing. So all of our Greenery now is individually stemmed up. Let's stem the flowers next. All right, to stem the flowers, super easy. We're gonna take our flower and at the back, what I like to do first is take my wire and just pop it in there before I grab my glue. Then I have a hole already started and I can just bring it in there. So we're gonna put some hot glue on there. That's all there is to it. So let's do that for all of the flowers and we'll get them in the centerpiece box. One thing to note as we wrap up all of the stemming, you are going to most likely have some extra wires left over. Hold on to those. You can use these if you're going to add an additional filler into the piece, or you're going to add some more flowers that didn't come in the kit, then you already have some wires ready to go. To start with, we're going to take our floral foam and we're just going to pop it in the box. Now, I am going to leave it as is. If you want, you can put a little bit of glue at the bottom to hold this in place. You can tape off the top. You can add some moss in there because there is a little bit of wiggle room, but I'm gonna leave it exactly as it is. It's deep enough in there that once all of our greenery and flowers are in there, you're not gonna see the floral foam. But if you want to, for peace of mind, feel free to add a little bit of moss or something else in there, as well as gluing in the floral foam if you want. I always leave mine loose now, but I can definitely see the pluses and minuses, but mostly the pluses for gluing it into place if you want. So, and I'm gonna start with just kind of creating my frame of the kit itself. And I'm gonna get these pretty close into the, I'm not gonna have them sitting super high up off, but the first thing we're gonna do is kind of get all of the corners as well as the center in place. Now when you see this, you're like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff still being shown. There is. However, we're gonna be adding in our flowers next, and that's really going to be what we need to fill in all of this space. So let's get to that next. So I'm gonna start with using the larger flowers first because those are gonna fill up the most space. And then I'll get to the smaller flowers afterwards. We're really gonna basically do a triangle of those larger flowers. So the other one's gonna go right there. I'm kind of going in on an angle with that one as well. And I do have one more that's a little bit on the larger side, so maybe we'll just do all four corners. Or kind of feeling like I want to put it in the center. Let's just see. Yeah, I'm kind of loving it in the center. So now we're going to take our smaller flowers. I will say, starting off with cutting the wires, go in slow, like don't cut it too short. But again, we do have some extra ones just in case you do. But I tend not to trim off that much. And if it is sitting too high, then I'm gonna go in and trim it off some more. Like this one, I actually want the flower to be lower than the other ones. I want the other ones to kind of sit on top of it. So we're adjusting all of that right now so that that's kind of peekabooing in there. And I'm gonna do the same thing right here. I want one to peekaboo down in the inside because I can see my floral foam from there. And then the other one is just gonna sit, I think, right on the edge of our piece. But there you go. It's already done. There you have it, a centerpiece box. Super simple to make. Everything is included that you need for this kit, plus a little extra as far as the stems go. Again, this does come both in the natural raw box as well as a stained dark brown box. These are great because this is a great jumping off point. If you are using this type of filler but you want to add some other things in there, you absolutely have room to add more if you want. You can also dye the flowers to match whatever event that you're having for the colors. Super easy to do, as we showed earlier in this tutorial. This is just a great project. This is also wonderful if you're just starting out with solo wood flowers and want to give them a try. This is a great project to start your journey on as well. So if you have any questions, make sure to drop them down in the comments. If you're new around here, loving these videos, can't get enough, want to know when the next one goes live, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell to find out about the 150 style wood flowers along with craft supplies and greenery. Go to ohyourlovely.com and use the code YouTube30 to get 30% off your first order. One note, any of the kits are not included in that coupon, so be aware of that and make sure to just, normally if something's marked on sale, codes won't be able to be used, and if there's a note within the description of the product that codes can't be used, codes can't be used. But otherwise, have at it. All right, you guys have a lovely day. We'll see you super soon. I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, and you, my friends, are absolutely lovely. Bye, guys.